Next up, we have Dr. Anjali Gokarna. She's speaking on mind and body. She's a pediatrician by profession. She has been in practice at Vasai near Mumbai for the last 37 years. Anjali has had first-hand connect with mental health conditions on several fronts. She has been diagnosed. She's been living with anxiety and depression for 4 decades. A holistic approach to healing has helped her recover to remission. She has lived in a family with high prevalence of mental illnesses as well. She has been a caregiver. Her struggles around mental health and as a caregiver has made Anjali determined to contribute to building mental health awareness and support. She's a fitness enthusiast and she's a consummate communicator. In the recent years, she has been a fine leader and contributor to the peer support community of Bipolar India and is on the advisory board of Mental Health Support Foundation. We at Mental Health Support Foundation strongly believe that in a whole mind body approach, and Dr. Anjali practices exactly what she preaches. Let's have a big round of applause for Dr. Anjali.
Twice in his talk, Sachin said exercise, exercise. So I thought he was giving the cue for the next speaker. So thank you for Sachin introducing exercise. And I'm not going to talk on the mind body connect, I'm going to talk on the body mind connect because that is more appropriate for what I'm going to say today. And I'll begin with the story of a 7-year-old boy about 30 years ago. He was hyperactive, impulsive, he could not focus in class. His teacher told his mother he will amount to nothing. What a cruel thing to say. The child took to swimming, and by age 12, he was in the US national, he was representing his state, and by age 15, he was representing his country in the Olympics for swimming. In the next 20 years, this amazing person won 28 Olympic medals, 23 of which were gold. Now, India has never ever won 23 or 28 gold medals or any medals in that much amount ever. This boy was diagnosed as ADHD when he was 7 years old, and he was diagnosed with depression when he was in his mid 20s. And I'm sure many of us have these dual diagnoses and even more severe ones than that. Now, at the age 40, this boy is a father of four. He plays golf. He runs a foundation to train for swimming and water safety. Also, part of this foundation is a mental health organization. Any guesses for who he is? Obviously. Michael Phelps, the greatest, most decorated, and celebrated Olympic athlete ever. Ever. Look at him. I mean, look at his body. So, if you think this man has achieved everything that was physical, then let me tell you that what he has achieved is far more. He has become the most decorated, celebrated Olympian after being told that he would amount to nothing. And Michael Phelps himself says that swimming helped him direct his restlessness and energy and focus on while focusing on physical activity. His rigorous training and discipline, goal setting, and physical endurance also increased his mental resilience. He founded the Michael Phelps Foundation, which he combines safety for kids with physical and mental wellness. And the IM is a foundation for mental health safety for children. It is to build confidence and develop healthy habits that last a lifeline. So his tagline is "Kids' minds matter." So how important? So from someone who was told nothing will come out of him and to what he's doing today. That's what exercise can do to our body, and that's what we are going to discuss today. I will not tell you how physical exercise will help us reduce weight, obesity, metabolic syndrome, diabetes, hypertension, ischemic heart disease, and a whole lot of other diseases, which it does. And we all know that solving crosswords, Sudoku, and other word games will help us increase our cognitive functions. But do you know that exercise isn't just for your body, that it's medicine for your brain? Exercise is the most underutilized supplement for mental health. And actually, it's safe, effective, without side effects, and it's free. Some people say that if exercise was available as a tablet or a capsule, there would be many companies who would do it. So, what exactly is exercise? Yesterday, I asked a few people that how many of you exercise. So, some people said I'm standing all day, I'm cooking all day. But is that exercise? It isn't. Exercise is something which is planned, structured, repetitive physical activity, which is aimed at improving physical health. Let me tell you, if you Google now, you will find the definition as it increases your physical health, and whereas today we are going to say that it improves your overall health. So I have altered the Google definition to overall health. So it not only positively affects your physical health but also your mental health. So what kind of exercise? Forgive me, I'm not going to talk about yoga, tai chi, pranayam. That itself will, take another whole day to, get into the depths of it. Today I'm just simply going to talk about cardiovascular exercise and strength training. Simple. So what is cardiovascular exercise? It includes swimming, cycling, brisk walking, and it is called cardiovascular when it causes a sustained increase in your heart rate and for an extended period of time. What is strength training? It's any exercise that uses resistance to build muscle strength. It could be lifting weights, using resistant bands, or doing body weight exercises like push ups or squats. So, which is good? Cardio or strength training? So earlier it was thought that only cardio is good for mental health, but no. Physical exercise pumps up the blood circulation, increasing the oxygen supply to the brain. It increases the amount of good hormones like dopamine, serotonin, noradrenaline, which immediately improve mood. So if you are facing a bad mood and you just go for a short walk for 10 minutes, it's definitely bound to improve your mood because it gives a short burst of dopamine. Runner's high. Disha in the audience will know what is runner's high. And it's not just limited to runners, but anyone who does some amount of moderately strenuous exercise will have experienced this sense of high or a relaxed sense of being. It's because the body releases endocannabinoids. Endo means inside, and cannabinoids, we all know what are cannabinoids. They are all the extracts of the plant of cannabis, and we have our own factory inside our body to produce cannabis and cannabinoids. So we have endocannabinoids which are released when you do moderately severe exercise or activity. And these cannabinoids have the ability to lift your mood, reduce anxiety, and regular exercise, if done, has a longer effect on reducing depression and anxiety. There's another thing that happens when you exercise. There is a protein called BDNF called brain derived neurotropic factor. Brain derived neurotropic because it increases the number of brain cells and brain connectivity. Now, we all knew as children that, as even young adults, that our brain stops growing after the age of 25, and after that, the number of nerve cells go on reducing. Have you heard this? I've heard this ample number of times when we were medical students, and it's called apoptosis. But this myth has been busted. And now they say that when you do regular exercise, there is a protein which is produced in the brain, which is called brain derived neurotropic factor, which increases the number of brain cells. So there is a part of our brain which is called the hippocampus. And just like when you do strength training and you build muscle, that hippocampus also increases in size or hypertrophies. And I don't know if you know, but the hippocampus is part of our limbic system, and the limbic system is our animal part of our brain. And the neocortex or the frontal cortex is the evolved part of our brain. And that limbic cortex, which wants fight or flight and emotions and anger and lust and greed and everything, like animals, is controlled also by the neocortex. So, what exercise does is that it hypertrophies the hippocampus, it increases the size, it increases the number of brain cells, and it improves the connectivity from the hippocampus and amygdala to other parts of the brain where we can regulate and control our emotions. Now, how good can it get? So this is what it does, and hippocampus is also directly related to learning and emotional regulation. So neurogenesis caused by BDNF is nothing but neuroplasticity. Have you all heard of neuroplasticity? Someone gets a hemiplegia or a paraplegia, and then you exercise and exercise and the nerve cells grow. You've heard of that? You can reverse it. So that is neuroplasticity when you have a deficit. And similarly, if you have, even if you're a normal person and you're looking to improve your mental health, and especially for us, those who live with mental illness or caregivers for mental illness, that's where BDNF and neurogenesis comes in. And there's also a downstream effect. It increases dopamine, serotonin, and both of which improves mood. Now, how much exercise? When I first started exercising, that is when I did strength training, I asked my trainer, I said, minimum kitna karna padega? Because everyone wants to know what is minimum dose to take or minimum exercise kitna karne ka. But there is a dose, even for exercise. So they say that 150 minutes, that means 30 minutes per day for 5 days a week. 150 minutes to 300. Now, I think we can even just say 150 minutes per week of moderate intensity aerobic exercise. That means cardio exercise. So, what is this moderate intensity? When you can talk but you can't sing. So, when you are walking, suppose you are taking a brisk walk or you're slow cycling, then you can talk with someone next to you, but you cannot sing. You will not be able to hold the notes. And or you can do 75 minutes of vigorous activity. And what is vigorous activity? Doing swimming laps or doing fast cycling or doing jogging or running. So in this you cannot talk at all. So this is how you would describe. So you either do 150 minutes or you do 75 minutes of vigorous activity. What about what about the various conditions? Does it help in all of them? Does it help in depression, anxiety, OCD, ADHD, schizophrenia, bipolar? Yes, it helps in all conditions. And how? There are various neurochemicals. We don't need to go into the details of that, just enough to know that yes, it does improve the mood, it reduces anxiety, it reduces restlessness, increases the focus in ADHD. We had a good example of that. And in schizophrenia, it improves cognition. And in bipolar, it helps to stabilize the mood and lift depression. Now, there is one caveat, however. In bipolar disorder, severe, strenuous, long duration exercises can precipitate mania or hypomania. So please be careful with this. And I've had personal experience with this. So I would really say that don't be too over enthusiastic to be exercising. And that does not mean you cannot exercise. You have to, but not too much and not too much at one time. So there's a lot of evidence for this. So there is association. These are all medical journals and medical articles and association, and they have interviewed 1.2 million individuals. Then there is physical activity, sport. It's an effective therapeutic tool in psychosocial rehabilitation. However, we all have some barriers. We always say that apne ko time nahi hai, and then of course our disease, we motivation runs low, and there are times we just don't want to get up and face the world and forget about exercising. We don't want to brush or even have a bath. We have a poor self-esteem. We have distorted body image. Now let me tell you a nice funny story about this distorted body image. For the longest ever time, I have a friend who is a doctor but also a physical therapist, and she told me that Anjali, it's not enough to do just walking and swimming. You have to do weights. And I said weights, and I didn't know anything about it. And then one fine day, I found a youngster, or whatever, and he was training us for yoga. And I said, he was also owning a gym. I said, I'll come to your gym because he seemed familiar. I was mortally scared of the gym. And when I went there, I saw this hatta katta people, tall, lifting what, 120 kgs and 140. I ran away from there. And that owner came after me, Kya hua, ma'am? Kya hua, ma'am? I said, I can't work out here. So he said, no, ma'am, we'll start. And I was lifting 1 and 2 kgs. I said, I can't work here. So he said, ma'am, we'll start small, but I didn't have the courage. I didn't go back. And it was only later, and I'll come to that story later. Later, when someone came home to train our kids, that's when I started weight training. So that's how we think. We think that fitness is for the fit people, because you will see on Instagram and on YouTube only fit people doing that. But believe me, that they may be quite fat or whatever, and they have these now the super AI things and people who do all kinds of things. And also I do that too. We take our best shot in which we look the thinnest. My trainer takes many pictures and then I सबसे पतली किसमें दिख रही हूँ वो ही लेना है. So we do that. We tend to put our best pictures. So don't go by just the pictures. And it doesn't matter whether you're fat, thin, short, you've never done. You just have to do it. And then, of course, lack of time, how can we work around that? I have said you have to do half an hour of workout, but you can do 15 minutes twice. So it's not necessary you have to do weight. You can go for a walk for 15 minutes. My sister used to work for a company near Churchgate, and Marine Drive was, in the afternoon, she told me, you won't believe me, for lunchtime, all office people get out and start walking. And so in the sun, between 1 and 2, there are all office ladies who walk, and men also perhaps, I don't know. But everyone gets out and walks for 15 minutes. Awesome. You can do that in the evening as well. So take 2 15-minute breaks and do it. So work around the time. And any time is okay. So you may have heard that you shouldn't exercise in the night. Oh, there's nothing like that. You come home at 10 o'clock at night, you can work out at 10 o'clock if you like. There was one girl, one friend of mine, she told me that, the lady who was staying below her used to come and complain because she used to come back from work and at 1:30 she would be doing her 150 skippings which she had to do. So she used to work at 1:30. Look at the dedication. So you can work out at any time. You can go for a walk at any time if you prefer. So I see the gyms, even at 10 o'clock people are working out. So when you come back from office, when you come back from your shift, so you can choose the time. So work around time. Lack of motivation. The moment you feel lack of motivation for anything, leave alone for exercise, the best thing to do is get up and walk. Because even that short burst of movement produces dopamine in your brain, and dopamine is the thing to start movement. So it's like a vicious cycle. You walk, you get dopamine, you walk. So if you lack motivation, then just take a walk. And poor self-esteem. So we always see ourselves in poor light, and then I don't think we can do it. Ye mera nahi hai bas ka, and things like that. We keep saying to ourselves. Physical constraints, yes. Some of us may have, pulmonary issues. Some of us may have, I have both ankle issues. I can do very limited exercises, but whatever I can, I do. So we do have physical constraints. You can work inside the water. You can do lighter exercises. But what are the important considerations for maximizing brain benefits? Intensity matters, but consistency matters most. When I first started exercising, doing weights rather, I said no matter what, whether I do it for half an hour, 15 minutes, but I have to show up every time. And so consistency is what matters. And then slowly you can take it up. Recovery with good sleep and proper nutrition, of course. Progress gradually, there's no hurry. We are not going to train for the Olympics or any gold medal. We are not going to swim that much. We just have to see that our brain functions well. Progress gradually, allow time to adapt to new routines. So you were walking at 4 kilometers, now you walk at 5 kilometers an hour, that's also okay. So you take your time and do that. And track your progress. And I always thought track your progress means track your weight. And it's a very demotivating thing when instead of reducing weight, you start putting on weight. So it happens when you're exercising. And fortunately for me, my coach is very good. He tells me, ma'am, it's all muscle weight. So it's okay. So don't be motivated. Don't track your physical. And if you follow Rujita Divekar, she says, don't ever stand on the weighing scale. She says, just see how fit you feel, how active you are. And that is the, hallmark or the track record that you should follow. So don't follow weight. Don't do exercise for losing weight. Don't do exercise for looking good. Don't say कि मेरे को ये belly fat reduce करना है नवरात्रि आ रहा है. That's not what we have to exercise for. Today what we are saying is exercise for the benefits it gives your brain. So when I was very young, I used to go young like in college. I used to go trekking for a very long time. I used to play badminton, cycling, walking, swimming. I was doing that and I still do walking and swimming until 2000 when COVID struck and everything had to come to a standstill. Fortunately for us, our two young boys, my sons, insisted on calling a physical trainer home and he came and I was so happy because it was like you saw I ran away from the gym. Gym has come home. And then I started strength training. It's 6 years now. I have never looked back. So I work for 1 hour. I work for 1 hour twice a week. And there are people over here who do more than that, who have run marathons. Disha has run a marathon. Vijayji works a lot. I've never climbed a mountain. I never climbed the Everest. I've never run a marathon. But I'm very happy with what I did. And I always thought I was doing it for a physical goal. Until Vijay gave me this opportunity and I looked up the evidence. And there is so much evidence saying that it helps your mental health. And I said, hey, I think I'm doing well because of that. So you keep physically fit and it makes you mentally resilient. Believe me, there have been many, many ups and downs in this last 6 years, but I have never been more resilient. So finally, exercise is the most underutilized supplement in mental health. Remember, it's not a substitute for medications or psychotherapy. You have to start small, progress slowly, aim for consistency, walk, cycle, swim, go to the gym, stay active. Yeah, there's another thing. In Gujarati, they say chalta falta raho, chalta farta raho. So it's not that you work for 1 hour and then you lie down and say, हाँ मेरा हो गया कोटा अभी 150 minutes हो गया. I can lie down all day and scroll and see some videos and shorts. No, the rest of the time you have to be active. You don't have to do any exercise. So all day, if the doorbell rings, answer the doorbell. You have to run an errand, do that. You have to see the washing machine, do that. So be active all day, but exercise for 150 minutes per week. Yeah, all work and sitting. That's what we have come to. And after I did this, I have now started, after every patient I get up and I just walk around. So they tell doctors that what you have to do, you have to, every time the phone rings, you have to stand up, and every time the patient is leaving, go open the door for him and make him feel special. You're not doing it for the patient, you're doing it for yourself, because you've got to get up and go. So remember, when you run errands, and dear husbands and sons, when you do it for your parents or your wives, you're not doing it for them, you're doing it for your physical activity. So go do it today. So exercise is safe, it's effective, there's no side effects, it's free. Make it non-negotiable. Make it non-negotiable, like you brush your teeth and you bath. Can you ever say, today I won't brush or I won't bathe? No. So can you say, I won't exercise this week? No, you can't. Say, I have to exercise. Just do it. My college, I studied in JJ Hospital, and the motto of that hospital was mens sana in corpora sano. It is a Latin phrase which means healthy mind in a healthy body, signifying that physical exercise and well being are essential for mental and psychological health. It's derived from the Roman poet Juvenal, and it represents the ideal of a balanced life where mental and physical health are treated as inseparable, interdependent components of overall wellness. In the earlier days, we used to give references like this. But now, I'll tell you, please watch videos on YouTube by Tracy Marks. She's a psychiatrist. She has made excellent short videos for every psychiatric illness, and she's very good. Dr. Tracy Marks. Dr. Sid Warrior, he's a neurologist and he has made excellent videos on not neuropsychiatry, neuroscience. That is, he explains everything about dopamine and hippocampus and the prefrontal cortex and everything. And there are lots of very good TED Talks. One of them is by Wendy Suzuki. It's awesome. I think you should see this, and I will try and post this in our group on the wellness group. So that's all I had to say for today. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Dr. Anjali. Could you be facilitating? Thank you so much for such a lovely conversation on body mind connect and not the mind body connect.